Hello, great people of the internet, and welcome to my first video. I guess my first video, if you don't include my channel intro. But yeah, welcome to this. I decided to make the channel like a fandom film review kind of channel, and yeah, just if you want to see more of this, subscribe, leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. And I figured, what better way to start on my channel than ranking all 13 of the Doctors in Doctor Who. This isn't, by the way, this isn't including Jodie Whittaker, but it does include the War Doctor. So, yeah, I just figured that would be a great way to start it off, because a lot of people like Doctor Who. I like Doctor Who. I mean, I've watched it, and, yeah, let's just get straight into the video, okay? So, at the number 13th spot, we have Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor. If anyone's really surprised by this, then, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised by this. Just like, I feel like it wasn't really all Colin Baker's fault that he kind of like, that this Doctor just failed so much. It's not his fault that the show Doctor Who went off air for like 2 years, right after just 4 of his episodes aired. That's not his fault at all. It's not his fault that the wardrobe department came up with a completely stupid outfit. Like, that is the shittiest outfit any Doctor has ever had. It kind of gives him like a, look at me, I'm so great arrogance that the Doctor isn't supposed to have, you know what I mean? I mean, just like, I don't know, I just feel like he just doesn't fit into the role. They were trying to make like a sassy, kind of badass Doctor with some kick-ass clothes, and they just failed so badly. And I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. So let's just move on to the War Doctor. And although the War Doctor didn't be in that many episodes. He was only in 1 episode, I think. And, like, well, technically he was in, like, 2. Because he was in it for, like, 1 second the other episode. But that doesn't count. And he didn't really get to do that much. He was, like, the third wheel for the 2 pretty boys. And that's not to say that I don't like David Tennant and Matt Smith. I love them both. But he just never got a chance to stand out or do anything. Like, I don't know. I can't even really rank him that well because we didn't get to see him, like, at all, except for in 1 episode, and even that was a little bit too little. So, I cannot get him any higher than 12. But, think, there's just, like, there's not even anything I can say about him. I mean, like, what do you guys want me to say about him? I don't have that much to go off of. There's 11 Doctors that are better than him. Every Doctor from here on out is really good. Most of the Doctors are good in their own special ways. From here on out, all the Doctors are good. So, number 11, William Hartnell, the 1st Doctor. And I know there's a lot of people out there who really like William Hartnell, and I do too. I mean, he's great. It's just that when I first watched, like, the first season, it was great. I loved it. But the position of the Doctor has changed so much. He was the first ever, so we had nothing to build off of. The more recent Doctors, they've had, like, 11, 12, 13 people before them, and they know exactly what to do. They know that they can develop off of it and make their own style. But he was the first William Hartnell, so he kind of had to go off that. And it's just kind of changed. The good Doctor has kind of changed. So, moving on. Paul McGann, the 10th Doctor. Paul McGann, he was really good. I liked him a lot. I liked how he fit in. He kind of gave us the beginning of, like, that relationship with his companion stuff that we now see today. And, like, the only reason that he's not higher on this list is because I wanted to see more of him. He was only on it for one season. One season. Come on, guys. And then the show ended, and then we had to wait for the revive series. He wasn't a movie, but I'm not including that. I'm not including the movie, the Doctor Who movie. But I just want to see more of him. I mean, he was really good. He fit into the role well. I liked his style. I liked what the wardrobe department did with him, and he just, also Paul McGann himself just looked like what I would imagine the Doctor to look like. That's why, I mean, he was really good, just like, I didn't see enough of him, and there's still 9 people who are better than him. So, with that being said, number 9, Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester McCoy. I think that out of all the Doctors, all of them that wore the question marks, he wore it best. I think that swagger that he carried, kind of like that swagger and that tough look on his face that he carried with him, made him really fit into the role good. And while he was a victim of really, like, just low budget for the series at that time, he still did a great job, and I'm proud of my boy Sylvester. I mean, like, he did good. I liked him a lot. I mean, yeah, he did the best that he could with the role at the time that he was a huge upgrade from Colin Baker, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think that he did good. On to number 8. I know there's some people that really like this Doctor, but I just have to put him at 8 because, I mean, he's just meh for me. Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor. Now, Peter Capaldi, he was very good, except he's still in last place for the Revive series, in my opinion. I liked him so much, dude. I mean, he had his moments, like that speech in the Zygon invasion. I mean, I feel like part of the reason that I don't like him is because he was stuck with dang Clara for a while. I mean, no one likes Clara. It's no secret. But, yeah, I just feel like he was really good most of the time. But then there were times when I just wanted to cover my face. Like, I was basically watching him and Stephen Moffat go through a midlife crisis. I mean, right, with electric guitars and sunglasses. I mean, yeah, I just can't put him anywhere higher on this list than 8. Number 7, Jon Pertwee, the 3rd Doctor. Jon Pertwee was a great Doctor. He was on the show for a while. He was the 3rd ever Doctor, so we didn't have a lot to build off of. But he did really good, and I liked him. I enjoyed his show. And I don't know how the idea of having the Doctor getting stranded on Earth for a whole season, how did that work? How did they decide on that? Like, what? That's the worst decision ever. No alien planets, no back in time, no future, just modern day Earth. Like, but somehow Jon Pertwee still made that season at least decent, and I liked him zipping around in his car. You know what I mean? So I think that he was a really good Doctor, and yeah, Jon Pertwee, man, good job, buddy. Number 6, Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor. So, Matt Smith, really good. His character was great. His romance with River Song was great. His companions were great, except for Clara, although I admit I did like that season. Except they went too far sometimes. Like, I mean, it was one thing with the bow tie, that was funny. One thing with the fish fingers and custard, that was funny, man. Except then they bring in fezzes. Like, where did fezzes come from, man? I mean, I liked it, but it's, like, too much. They're just, like, they're not thinking of original ideas. They're just coming up with more, like, wonky fashion accessories to put on him. Like, you get what I mean? I don't know, man. I just can't put him anywhere higher than 6. Number 5, the 5th Doctor, Peter Davidson. He was good. I mean, like, I had a really tough time deciding which to place first, Matt Smith or Pete Davidson. They were both really good. I like them both a ton. I just think that Peter Davidson gets a little bit ahead of Matt Smith. Just because He was the youngest doctor at the time. Think about that for a second. He was the youngest doctor ever at the time. And he was following in the footsteps of the great Tom Baker. And he still managed to be a smashing hit. I mean, I got a lot of respect for this guy. I gotta put credit where it's due. Great job, Peter Davidson. On to number 4. Number 4 is the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton. Boy, was this guy good. Okay, Patrick Troughton. He was the second Doctor ever. He just had to build off a cranky old man, William Hartnell. I mean, William Hartnell is great, but he didn't have a lot to build off. That wasn't his character. So he made his own character, and I mean, just like he did great. He like incorporated running, the no violence. He was funny. He had the whole package. He shaped modern day Who. If he hadn't been a success as showing that the regeneration thing could work and changing the actors often, then the show would never have made it this far. If he was a complete failure, then they'd be like, well, scrap that regeneration idea. Once Patrick Troughton's out, then it's over for Doctor Who. You know, like, but he did a great job. He nailed it. Good job. Number 3, the most underrated Doctor of them all, Christopher Eccleston, the 9th Doctor. Like Paul McGann, was not on the show long enough. Please, guys, if we can get them to bring Chris Eccleston back, that would be great. I mean, I know that they asked him to come back for Day of the Doctor, except he declined, but still, I want him back. He was only on it for season 1. Him and Rose had such good chemistry. He was great. I loved him. He rocked the leather jacket. He was just, the only reason that he might be my favorite Doctor, except the only reason that he's not even higher on this list is because the next 2 Doctors are great, but also because he didn't last for long enough. But I still think that he has the best last words before regeneration of any Doctor, where he goes like, "You were fantastic, and you know what? So was I." And I mean, that's just like great, you know? I mean, it's so sad. But there's 2 Doctors that are better than him. Number 2, David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. David Tennant was so good. He had the 3 best companions ever in the New Who. Maybe, debatably. They were great, though. Rose, Martha, and Donna. Donna's my all-time favorite out of the New Who. And, it's obvious why. They had such good chemistry. I mean, he was great. David Tennant was great. He was funny. He was the master of staring into space. I mean, just like, he had so many good moments. The only reason that he's not number 1 is because he just seemed too human to me. The only problem that I have throughout his entire thing was that he seemed more like a human than an alien. I would say that he seems the most human out of any other Doctor. And that's something that most people overlook for some reason. He just doesn't seem like an alien. But other than that, if it weren't for that, and he had done a great job pretending to be an alien too, he would be number 1. But he's not number 1. Number 1, Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor. This guy was on the show for 7 years, which is the longest out of any Doctor. And that was no accident, believe me. He was great with his companions. I loved his outfit with the scarf. I loved his hair. Oh my gosh, he was great. He was the best Doctor, no doubt about it. I mean, David Tennant was close behind, but in my opinion, Tom Baker was better. The 4th Doctor was better. I mean, he was so good. The only problem that I have with him is that he died because he fell off of like a telephone, like a phone tower or something like that. That was the only problem. Other than that, like, he was great. I just wish that he had a more noble death. Alright, everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Really help my channel out. We're just getting started. Hope you like this video. Peace out.